Hi, I'm Tricia at Club Scrap and welcome to the Impressed Page Kit Workshop. I look forward to spending the next 35 minutes or so with you as we trim and sort all of the papers and assemble them into 8 12x12 scrapbook pages. My goal as always is to leave you with only pages and no wasted time or materials, and I think with this set, it's mission accomplished. I've got my kit, my trimmer, my accordion pocket file, and my instructions ready to go. Let's get started. What I'm going to do first is simply grab the photo mats here. You know what? I think we could also grab these envelopes. We'll get those filed as well. And then I'll move all of the other embellishments and ribbons aside. So I just have these papers. Let's see, I'll take the accordion pocket file and put the lip of it underneath my trimmer base. I'll put a link to more information about this accordion pocket file in the video description below. I do have a starter kit that helps you make one of these for yourself. And of course, I've got my instructions handy. Let's begin by sorting these photo mats and filing them. If you're not using the file, totally okay. Just maintain 4 separate piles. Maybe label them 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8 with some sort of a post-it note, and that way we can stay organized together. Let's look for the 3 red photo mats and place them all in the pocket labeled 1 and 2. And then we'll find the 3 aqua photo mats. Now those are going to be the brighter colors, and I see I was given 4, but I only need 3. So sometimes that happens. So 3 aqua photo mats, pocket 3 and 4. And you can also take one of these little vintage envelopes and place that in pocket 3 and 4. Next up, 2 teal photo mats go in pocket 5 and 6. The 3 remaining brown, 1 teal, and 1 vintage envelope. That can go in pockets 7 and 8. Now I want you to pick up all of the paper, the 12x12 paper, and the Cutaparts that came in the kit. And I like to hold it upright, and let's find the pieces we're going to be trimming. So let's start out with this gorgeous brown swirl print here. We're going to place that face down, followed by 1 sheet of the aqua. Again, that's the brighter tone of aqua. Then a sheet of brown, 1 teal. So that's the darker color, probably my favorite color on planet Earth right there. And you might know that about me already. Okay, then find the Cutapart, usually collated toward the back of the pile. It should say family right here on the end. Put that face down. The Cutapart, the other one. The best things in life are free. The second best are very expensive. Put that face down. Next up, find 2 sheets of the red, 1, 2, and those are the same on both sides. Then the remaining sheet of aqua, that's the lighter blue. And then this print right here, it's so gorgeous, put that face down. 1 piece of the brown is next, followed by the remaining brown swirl print, face down. Then this lovely embossed print there. I think we're calling that the flower print, and then we'll end with the teal. Okay, so flip all of this back on over to that swirl print, and we're just going to trim this, and it really doesn't matter how it goes into the trimmer, just any old way. And we're going to cut at 8. So find the 8, make sure your paper is level up here at the top, always, always, and then hold the paper in place with this clear bar. And again, that was at 8, and then we'll slide the paper down to 4. So easy. Now this piece right here, place it in pocket 3 and 4. And when you do that, just place at an angle. So it's going to be coming out the end here, and then still showing the number 3 and 4 on the label of the pocket. Then the remaining 2 pieces will be added to pocket 7 and 8. Okay, here we have the aqua. Let's trim this at 10 3/4. So that's 10 plus 1, 2, 3 of the columns on the trimmer to the left. Push down in your clear bar as always. And when this paper lands, don't move it. And then slide to 9 1/4. Once again, let the paper just pile up. So 9 1/4. And then 5 1/4. Take this 5 1/4 inch piece and rotate it. Cut at 11 1/4, 7 1/2, 3 3/4. Gather up the 3 pieces that you made that are the same size and place them all in pocket 5 and 6. There's a small rectangle that fell. Believe it or not, we're going to use that in layout 1 and 2. Waste not, want not. And then the next piece, this should be a 4 by 12. We'll cut this at 10 1/2, 7 1/2, and 4 1/2. So this piece here, the one that's in the base of your trimmer, pocket 3 and 4. Then you have 2 matching pieces that are a little smaller, pocket 1 and 2. Then there's this small rectangle. Believe it or not, we're going to cut this at 2 3/4, pocket 1 and 2. And this is a scrap. Sorry to report. Set it aside. Now you have a wider strip here, pocket 3 and 4, because once again at an angle in there. And then the other more narrow strip, pocket 5 and 6. That's the entire sheet of aqua. Moving on to the single sheet of brown, our first cut is at 10 3/4. Then 9 1/4 and 6 1/4. Rotate so the piece is horizontal. Cut at 9, 8 1/2, I know it's a weird one, and 4 1/4. This gives you 2 larger pieces for pocket 5 and 6. And then you have this really narrow piece that fell next. That one's going to be used, believe it or not, in pocket 1 and 2. Then you have this rectangle. We're going to cut at 6 and 3. And these two, they're squares. You're going to go in pocket 5 and 6. And we do have a tiny little scrap. Then we have our 3 by 12 strip. We'll cut at 9, 6, and 3. 2 of the squares, pocket 1 and 2. The next square, pocket 3 and 4. And the last one, 7 and 8. Then you have 2 strips, 2 different sizes, but they both go in 5 and 6. Teal. Let's take a really big number here, 11 3/4, to create a very small piece. And just leave it lay there. We're going to slide this down to 11, then 10 1/4, 7 1/4, and 4. Rotate the 4 by 12 and trim at 6. 2 pieces, the same size, pocket 3 and 4. Grab the next larger strip here and follow along. 9 3/4, 7 1/2, 5 1/4, and 3. So this piece that ended in the trimmer, this is a larger rectangle, and then there's another slightly smaller one that just fell. They both go in pocket 3 and 4. Next, you have 2 of the same. Those will go in 7 and 8. And one last little guy, pocket 1 and 2. Okay, this next strip will trim at 9, 6, and 3. We've done this before. Deja vu. 2 of these squares, pocket 3 and 4, and the other 2 squares, 7 and 8. Now I've got these 2 wider strips that are the same for pockets 7 and 8, and the really skinny one, we are using it in 5 and 6. Now we have our cut apart here, and the directions say to remove the paper outside of the corner cutting guides. So just cut just a little outside of that mark for your first cut on this, and then rotate, because now the paper is a little smaller so that you can see the edge of the blade both at the top and bottom of the trimmer base. It's the stainless steel blade. Now it's okay if you need to go back and just clean that up a little bit more. My goal is to make sure that those little marks are gone. try to be as accurate as I can, because if one of these cuts is off, it's kind of like the butterfly effect. It just affects everything. So now I'm rotating back to where I started. I'm going to clean up just what's left of that little mark. And then I need one more rotation to clean this edge up too. Okay, now look, I've just removed like literally a hair with this trimmer. So if you don't have this trimmer, I got a link for it in the video description. It's such a good trimmer. Okay, now rotate so that the word family is over here in the lower right corner. And we're going to start out at 11. And as we cut, just let those papers pile up. And then 10. Then 8.5. And 8. 7.5. And 6.25. Finally, 3.5. All right, this large strip, pocket 1 and 2. And on this one, we're going to make several cuts. So I'll start with the red square and the right. And we're going to go at 9.25, 6.5, and 3.75. This frame here, pocket 3 and 4, and then the blue 3 and 4 also. Find me where the wild things roam, 5 and 6, and the red 7 and 8. This lovely strip here, pocket 3 and 4. Then you have 2 red strips for 7 and 8. This one with the flowers, 5 and 6, and then you have 2 that match. Those are both going to go in 5 and 6 also. Our final cut apart here, and I'll do the same treatment where I start by removing the paper from the perimeter, just trying to get it as accurate as you can. Okay, I'll get rid of those little scraps. And with this here on the right, I will trim at 10.75, 9.5, 7.5, and 4. Then I'll rotate and make sure that that little journaling prompt is on the right. We'll cut at 10.5 and 6. This guy we're going to place in pocket 7 and 8. Now these have all different assignments, so I think what I'll do is just a real rough cut separation of these so they can land in the right pocket. And then as far as whether or not you want to fussy cut these, I'll leave that totally up to you. But the piece will be with the page where it's going to live. So if you don't want to do the fussy cut of these images, that's totally your call. They're just there for you. I know some of you enjoy the process. I kind of admit I like it. Okay, so this teal, tiny teal flower and this little spriggy thing, these both go in 7 and 8. This guy, the brighter red flower, and the leaf, 1 and 2. This orangey colored leaf is 5 and 6, along with the blue is 5 and 6. And then this guy and the leaf, 1 and 2. Then our little journaling prompt here, that's 3 and 4. All right. This next chunk we'll cut at 9 with the red on the right and 4.5. This one, pocket 5 and 6. Then the deep brown color, 3 and 4. The red, pocket 7 and 8. Now we have some tags. I'll go with the flower on the right. Trim at 9, 6, and 3. This journaling prompt, 1 and 2. The next one, 7 and 8. Collect beautiful moments, 7 and 8. and that gorgeous flower, 3 and 4. Okay, now these circles, I tried it with my 1-inch punch. It's not quite the right size, so I'm just gonna separate them visually and then move on to 9.5 inches, then 7 and 4.5. Life is short, buy the bag. Pocket 1 and 2. My treasures, 3 and 4. Memories, 1 and 2. We have one little circle for pocket 3 and 4 and another one for pocket 7 and 8. And our final border strip, 3 and 4. I would just like to point out that these are our scraps from the entire project. This is all that will be left. How cool is that? Now I'm going to lock my trimmer blade, and before I move it or remove it, I'm going to make sure that my accordion pocket file is supported so it doesn't fall off the end of the table. From now on, I'll lay this on its back, and let's get assembling. We're going to take those remaining papers now and just the whole entire stack and place it to the left of the center of your workspace, and then just pick up the top sheet and slide it on over. So that should give you 2 red papers side by side. And if you turn in your instructions to the very last page, bottom, that'll be layouts 7 and 8. And sure enough, it pictures 2 red bases for the layout. And the reason we're going to do it this way is we'll build up from the bottom. And if you've been around here for a while, sorry, but if we're going to build from layout 7 and 8 up to layout 1 and 2, so that if you don't want to glue everything down or stick it down or finish it right now, you don't have to. But either way, layout 1 will be on top, ready to go with your adhesive when the time comes. And a lot of people who attend crops regularly, they do this part, the brain work, the cutting part. They do that at home in the peace and quiet. Just me and you in the video, do all the trimming. Then when they join the crop with all their friends, they don't need to bring a wagon. They can just bring a couple of boxes of layouts brought to this point, and then they can sit with their friends and assemble their pages and add pictures and be extremely productive. So it's a great tip. If you like to attend crops, this method really is a great answer. To find all the other pieces needed to finish pages 7 and 8, we're going to reach into the pocket labeled 7 and 8. So we're starting from the back of our little organizer as well. Make sure you get, there's a lot of little pieces in there. Make sure they're, well, these are left over from a previous project. Okay, we don't need those either. All right, now I'm going to just pick all this stuff up, I guess. And I like to usually start if I've got a bigger piece, like wallpaper type deal, I like to put those down first. So this is the big 4x12 strips. And then we're going to add this teal right above the strip, and then the cute little border on top of the teal strip. Okay, lots of strips going on there. I forgot, this is, I'm going to rotate. Okay, that's going to be that way. I think when I was initially creating the pages, that was my idea. And then we're going to have 2 tilted brown mats here. Below the brown, we're going to add the teal. It's going to be pretty tight. And then we need the 2 squares. So when you're attaching this, just make sure you're spaced in order to fit everything there. Now it's designer's choice, but if you want, you can grab a corner rounder punch. This is on the smallest corner. I might want to switch to the R7 on this. We'll see. Yeah, either R4 or R7. I don't have a little catcher on the bottom here, but that kind of makes this look really good. And that's going to go on the upper left. After punching corners, this will be nested as well. So I'll round the brown and the red, and that's going to go right here. This larger piece will be tucked behind it. Some ribbon added, and this tiny, tiny little piece there. You can ink the edges with natural colored ink if you like. We have a lovely earth color. It's called Earth. Yeah, this is a very well-loved Earth ink pad from many moons ago. I've been using it for forever. Other happenings, we've got this tag, Collect Beautiful Moments. Now at this point, what I would do is clip the corner of the tag and then clip the corner of the mat after it's attached. And that's going to live over here. And then we also have this journaling prompt that will live right here. And this little swag is going to go up here. I want to show you this little piece. Now, I tried my 1-inch punch, but it was just a little too large for what we've got planned for this guy. So I'm taking scissors, and don't worry about imperfections here, okay? Just do your best to cut a circle, which is really hard to do. Just stay right on that edge of that line, okay? And then your kit came with these gorgeous medallions here, and this is going to fit right inside. But what I like to do is just take some of our bookbinding glue and add it to the back. If you feel like this has a right side up, then go for it. If not, no big deal. Just push that down in there. And then your kit also came with the epoxy sticker that fits right inside. You know, these are really fun. Like if you want to give someone a cool gift, you can maybe take a map of where they live or maybe where you live and put it in here with the sticker. So there's a lot of uses for this type of thing. It make a gorgeous pendant, even earrings maybe. And anyway, in this case, I just threaded some of this leather cord onto it and added it to this conglomeration over here, which is pretty cool. Now I'm going to show you more tips from the finished pages. So here we have layout 8, and I want to show you that little fussy cut object there with the inked edges. I did not ink the edges of everything though, just a few items. Here I stretched the taffeta ribbon around this piece, and then onto that I tied some of the suede. It's like an 1/8 inch super flat suede. It's absolutely gorgeous. I love it. And on the facing page, here we have the taffeta ribbon. I used a slot punch to punch the edge of this nested tag here and inked the edge of this. That looks so good, and added my beautiful little medallion there with the epoxy sticker. Here I punched a slot as well and added the teal satin ribbon in that spot. So, so pretty. Now I'm going to take the red base of this layout and slide it on over to the right, and then I'll take the aqua paper, slide that to the right. That should turn up what's indicated as the base for layouts 5 and 6 in my instructions, and it does. So let me grab my accordion pocket file, and we're going to empty the pocket labeled 5 and 6, or if you've been keeping piles, find your pile 5 and 6. And here we go. It's the deal. This is the fun part because all the work's been done. All the prep, all the math. 3 right across the top. You're going to find these aqua pieces. Next, take the aqua strip, and there's going to be another brown strip that should nest onto that. And then you have a strip that says family. So it's like a triple whammy. Below that, we'll add our teal, 1 teal photo mat. And then this cool guy. And there should be a square. It's going to be 1 brown square nested with Find Me. We'll eventually round those corners. Oh goodness, I still have a handful of stuff here. How about 2 horizontal brown mats up here? And then we've got another brown strip that's going to have the perfect match of chaos and love, along with the teal strip just above it. Forgot to mention behind all of that, we have our vertical floral strip, a vertical teal mat, a little square. I liked to have the right edges of those level. And then I added 1 little floral element here and a floral element there, as well as a leaf. And I get the feeling I did not put the leaf in the right pocket. So let me go see where that leaf went. Well, somewhere there is a little leaf. It's not in my pocket right now, but I'm sure it's around here somewhere. So when we come across that, we'll pop that other little leaf right there. And let's just look over the final pages. Here we have our sweet little embellishment, and I did ink the edges again with the earth ink and a sponge applicator, rounded the corners of this little guy here. Then on the facing page, I did a couple of tricks. I took a hole punch, and then I threaded some ribbon behind it and then ran it all the way across the page and behind. Here I have the little copper charm added, stretched the ribbon across the bottom portion of this piece, and then added that medallion right on top. I love that. And then this rounded corner is nested together, very straightforward. Let's take the base of this layout now and slide it over to the right. And then the brown, we slide that one over. And we're moving in reverse in our instructions now to layouts 3 and 4. Let's take our aqua strip and our cut apart there, running across the bottom, and then locate the 2 aqua photo mats. That's probably a great place to start, and put those horizontally above, and they're going to nest with our teal mats here. Then the vintage envelope is a nice touch. Round up our corners on this guy. Then take one of the brown squares. You can round those corners as well if you like. It's going to go with this guy. And then the other cool medallion charm and circle and sticker. So that's all going to go there. Let's add some ribbon. And then up here on the upper right edge, this will get nested, and then with this piece placed beneath it. I added some of this cord, and it's really hard to see in the image, so I'm going to talk to you about that. So this, once this was attached, I used my needle tip glue applicator to run some glue across here, and then laid this cord on top of it. And I had enough to do the same right over here. Oh, and it was just so beautiful. I love that stuff. It's subtle, but beautiful nonetheless. Here, I puzzled this in so beautifully, and that journaling spot fits right in there. The larger square up here, and then this can be nested with the teal and resting on the strip next to the frame with this tucked in right here. So you have room for a photo there as well. Finished layouts, let's take a look. Here we have, it's very straightforward with this one. The only added action is the slot here in the tag with the teal ribbon running around to the back. And again, check out how cool that piece of leather cord looks over there. And then balancing it on the right, there's a leather cord, the intertwined 2 pieces of that gorgeous teal ribbon. This was added again in the same fashion, where I tied some of the cord to the top of that as well. I had just enough. So I would start with adding this first before you cut anything else for tying on the top, just to make sure you have enough to go around. And finally, we're going to slide this on over to the right. And then this slides, and emptying everything from pocket 1 and 2. Not much in there. Okay, we have a red photo mat right in the center here, and below that you'll add 2 aqua. So it kind of, again, I like to puzzle things in, and then the 2 brown fit right into the top. So check it out, all a perfect fit there. And then immediately to the left of it we'll have this. There's a red strip on here, that is the taffeta ribbon. The other 2 red photo mats sit angled like so. You'll feed this little top into the slot for this leather pouch, which is really awesome. I love it. That'll kind of learn to live there and flatten out a little bit. Also nice for your jewelry storage. Life is short, it's going to go here. Then you'll cut a little tip into the corner of this guy. Let me just do that so you can see how quick and easy it is. And then a corner, you'll clip a little V into the short end of this piece. Okay, and then these can nest together. Yes, I realize the brown is longer than the aqua. Doesn't matter because it's just going to hide right there. What a great way to anchor our little fussy cuts. Oh, there's my other missing leaf. So this is why we wait. We're going to go up to layout 5 and 6. And I'm going to place that up there. Okay. That's so nice when we kind of know we've got something misplaced. Final pieces here. We've got memories with an aqua mat to bring that color over again. Tuck it behind there. This will get matted with the teal. You can clip the corners, add some ribbon. This is going to be fussy cut, edges inked, placed right there. To look at the finished layout, So pretty. Look at how cool this looks. Yes, I keep forgetting to add these little copper medallions. Just a little trio of those items here. Here's the slot punch with the loop. And then over on this page, very straightforward, there's the taffeta ribbon. I did take some ATG adhesive and just put a couple of spots on there so that it wouldn't be popping up. And then my little piece added, you have room for a cute little photo there, whatever you like. Layouts 1 and 2. How fun. Hope you enjoyed the Impressed page kit. I hope you're impressed with how few scraps we had, how quickly and easily it all fell into place. And it's just a gorgeous collection. So if you liked this one and you like to make cards, check out the Impressed card kit as well. We'll have a lot of fun making a dozen giftable cards, or sendable. Envelopes are included, plus a beautiful 5x7 gift box. And again, all of the artwork coordinates with this, but it's still different too. So I think you're going to really enjoy that if you liked this theme. I hope to see you in that workshop and in a future Club Scrap workshop again soon. If you're not already subscribed to our channel, make sure you hit that button. It's free to subscribe. And also, if you want to become a member of Club Scrap, if you're not already, just remember that anyone can shop, but members always save. Thanks so much for coming to learn with me today. I'll see you next time.